One of the most difficult things when doing page building and you are not a coder, you don't understand what's going on in the background, is to include things like tabs and make sure that the spacing is uniform, equalized. And I'll show you an example with this business hours widgets of what I mean. If we look at the examples here, you can see here you've got Monday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the working hours here on the left. And then you have here on the right, you have the business hours. If you were going to be doing that in a text editor, it would become a nightmare. You have to probably bring in tables and you would have very little control over those tables in your text editor. So immediately you understand if you want to achieve this all by yourself, there's some coding that has to go into it. And that is why this widget, as simple as it is a wonderful piece and work of art, because it gives you this control that you can have something all to the right on this side and then all to the left on this side. Show you some more. You see nicely tabled here. It's a table and it gives you these columns, but it gives you exactly what you want for your business, letting people know when is your restaurant open, when can they come to the gym, when do the classes start. And do not limit yourself only to this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, this typical thing. You can think outside the box. You can say class 1, class 2, class 3, and you can have the dates over here. We'll look at the widget very soon. Last one, just another example. Here you have the full weekdays, and then on this side you have 2 time periods that it can happen, and then you have some extra details that can come in here. So let's go have a look then at how this widget works, and we're going to search here for business hours, and then you will see again with the little logo of Ultimate Add-ons for Elementor, and you drag it and drop it. Let's bring it a little bit closer. So I'm going to duplicate, add another column here so we can just have a little bit more, well, a more concentrated area to work with. So if I open and click here on the widget and I open it, you will see that over here you can add the items. And again, like I mentioned previously, do not limit yourself to the idea from Monday to Sunday. You can add more. So if you have Monday morning, you can have Monday afternoon, Monday evening. This is how you can style this, all to your heart's content. If you go now into Monday, you will see that it allows you to enter the day here. And again, it doesn't have to be a day. It can be like a sermon. It can be a class. It can be a project and the time that they would start. And then over here, you enter the time manually. So these things you will do manually. So you don't have to think in terms of hours. It can be something that just needs 2 columns. And then you have on this side the left and on this side the right. You will see that on the bottom here, Saturday and Sunday, they look different. And that is achieved by this little function over here. And I'm going back to Monday, styling, style this day. You can activate it here and then you can do that styling. So you see now you can choose the color, you can choose the time color, and also you can even choose the background color, make it look different. I'm going to deactivate it for now. And that is how you enter the data. From the styling, you have, well, not much to do here. You can enter a divider, add that divider over there, and you can have it solid. You can have it dotted. I like the dotted line for that. And you have the weight of it as well. Right. And then for your day and time, you can also align them within their virtual columns. So if I look at the day alignment and then the time alignment, I can do it like this, or I can do it like that. Bring those two a little bit closer to each other. That looks a little bit weird. And let me just see if no, they're going to stick like that to each other, like white on rice. So this will give you the flexibility of aligning them within those 2 virtual columns as you please. Here you have the global color styling. So if I want to change my day color, I want to change it to this green. And then I want to change my time color also to this teal. I can do it here, but you will notice these 2 do not change. And the reason is because we have activated that individual styling, and that overrides the default styling. So if you want these 2 to have the same color as the whole table, you go back to content, and then you go to Saturday, and then you deactivate it over here. You see it goes back to that color. Let's do the same for Sunday. And you deactivate it. And that is the business hours. It is so simple that you may think, come on, who wants this widget? Everyone who wants to display their business hours wants this widget. It is very nicely done and it is so convenient, and it does everything the way you want it. The day over here, your classes over here, and the times over here. And again, like I said, you don't only have to use it for that. You can, for example, let's go do our own quickly. And I know now I'm going into the length, but I always do this. Delete, there's always going to be 2. We can say this is class 1. And then instead of that, we can have an amount here, right? So you can see this is what, and then I'm going to duplicate it. This is what I mean by, you know, you don't only have to think in terms of hours. You can think in terms of anything for which you require 2 columns. And you can display it like that. Of course, there's the table element, but this one is 10 times, million times easier to use than the table element. Very great widget. I like it. The business hours widget from Ultimate Add-ons for Elementor. This is JB here with Websites for Beginners.